Watanzania tulio wengi kwamba anyone demanding or wanting excellence iliyopitiliza sio Mtanzania. Ukiwa unatamani excellence to a certain level, mara nyingi utaulizwa kwani wewe umesomea wapi? Kuna wakati mimi nilikosea by showing the glamorous life of being a creative director. It backfired on me.
Ruben spoke about wanting to work with local productions, but we see in the art space that is not happening a lot.
It's hard to justify the variance katika local production houses.
Raphael, are we going to survive with all this AI?
Innovation and diversification has to come in for us to be able to get there. AI has come to stay. Are we ready?
Hi guys, this year we media turned 5. Out of the things that we thought we could do, why don't we do a podcast and have people from different industries, from production houses, from creative agencies, and how can we move forward, not only as we media, but us together kama industry, tunaendaje mbele. Welcome to another episode of We Turn 5. We have 3 special people here. One thing that they all have in common is that they've worked at one agency at different times, but they've always worked at one particular agency. So I would like for you guys to introduce yourselves and your roles and what that agency is.
My name is Raphael Beecham, Ghanaian. I jumped in here from Ogilvy, Ghana, now with Ogilvy, Tanzania as CD.
My name is Makida Dallas, currently marketing manager at Airtel. Before that, I'm ex-Ogilvy. So all of us on set share a common.
Naitwa Ruben Ndege. Kwa sasa hivi nasimamia mikakati na ubunifu at Clouds Media Group. Previously, I was working for WPP Scan Group. Under WPP Scan Group, kuna a variety of agencies. Kuna Ogilvy, kuna Roundtrip, there was Squad. So I was working for Scanad Tanzania and JWT Tanzania.
Ruben, tumetoka mbali sana.
Sana. Hadi hapa tulipo.
Tukianza, I think we can have our own podcast.
It should. Actually, we should.
I just want to know, why did you pick to work with We Media?
Kwangu tulianza mbali.
So
I think I was the first person to work with you.
Yes, that's very true.
So wakati nafanya kazi agency for a long time, we were working with global brands, the Coca-Colas and the bigger brands. And wana a set standard of what they expect wakati unafanya kazi. Na wakati huo pitching things locally, kwa sababu makampuni mbalimbali yalikuwa na wasimamizi wengi walikuwa wanatoka nje ya Tanzania. Kwa hiyo walikuwa na mwelekeo fulani when it comes to the type of people that they want to work with. So you find production houses that either had employed people of a certain type, or production houses that were za nje ya Tanzania would get more of the work. Na kadiri tunavyosogea, I had that thing in mind kwamba natamani kufanya kazi na production companies za nyumbani.
Yeah.
And ilishindikana kwenye a lot of the big brands, na kuna mtu ambaye nilikuwa natamani kufanya naye kazi. Kijana mmoja anaitwa Hans Kana. Na ni kwa sababu muziki ndio unalipa, bongo movies na bongo flavor inalipa.
Yeah.
You do one video that's 4 minutes, you get paid $1,500,000, $1,600,000. And at that time, the budgets that I was looking at, shooting an ad that's 60 seconds, the budgets that we were spending, I'm like, if these guys only knew the amount of money there is in advertising, wangefanya hii kazi. So I was wishing if I get just one local filmmaker or video creator or somebody who just does content, nikiweza kufanya naye tangazo, aanze kuelezea wenzake, bwana nimeenda nafanya tangazo, nimefanya for 2 days, nimelipwa $40,000,000. So I wanted to work with Hans Kana. When I got the opportunity through a local brand that we were working with at that time, wrote a script and pitched that I want to use a local production. The budgets allowed. Then I reached out, found him, lakini yeye alikuwa hana uelewa mzima wa the production process. And through Hans Kana, then I got you and the partner that you're working with at that time, and the rest is history. Tukaanza hiyo moja that led to other fruitful things Kwa hiyo my initial idea around that was I needed to work with local production houses so that we get a share of these budgets that are out there, na tuambukize wengine waelewe kwamba kuna hela in this industry ambayo tupo, na kuna hela kubwa tu, sio hela ya kitoto, yani kuna hela ya kubadilisha maisha ya watu.
Ambayo unfortunately the budgets have gone down and down and down.
Hapo nitawachia wengine wasungumzie why the budgets have gone down.
Yeah.
But before we jump into the whole budget thing, my question would be, to Raphael or Makida. Ruben spoke about wanting to work with local productions, but we see in the art space that is not happening a lot. Why is it that agencies or clients are still not working with a lot of production houses? Like, what do you think we're failing?
I can tell you that we are not competing amongst Tanzanian production houses anymore. We are competing with the region. We are competing with the rest of the world, all right? Because you have clients that are also international, looking for a certain standard, as Ruben spoke to. You have quality, you know, in the conversation. You have professionalism in the conversation. I can say that marketing, advertising is one space that you can peg next to the medical, sector when it comes to time. Time is always a luxury, and you don't want to go be found in that space where professionalism costs you time. That would be costly, and some of these things sometimes come into play when you are working with production
houses.
Yeah. We are too comfortable, forgetting that we are competing with a larger market, a regional market. So we need to put things in place, all right, to make sure that we are meeting the standards, we are meeting the professionalism that our clients are looking for, and we are delivering on the quality expectations that, they want. Being here, I can tell you the talents are here. Tanzania is oozing with talent. What we need are these three pillars, to get there.
Wakati mwingi, yani the equipments are there. Yani hapa nyumbani tuna quality equipment.
Yeah.
Inawezekana wakati mwingine ni jinsi ya kuuza. Yani you get into rooms, procurement, because siku hizi maamuzi ya manunuzi, who to supply to work with, yanafanyika na procurement. You need to be able to sell. Kwa hiyo budget ni $100,000. Akija production house kutoka nje, they are used to selling $100,000. They know how to justify $100,000. So if I say I'm using producer flani, I'm using director flani, reel yake yenyewe nikisema namlipa $10,000 kwa siku, you look at the reel and the type of work that they have done. Yeah. You're like, okay, that's worth $10,000. Tukija nyumbani, inawezekana katika upande wa biashara ya kuelewa jinsi ya kuuza production, what documents you need to submit, what format you need to submit. If I'm going through your budget, the line items, nikikuita uanze kujustify, can you be able to justify? Mara nyingi, na I'm not saying it kwa ubaya, kuna wakati tunaweka numbers tu, na tunaanza kurusha numbers across the board, then ukikuta watu wa procurement kazi yao kubwa is to get quality at a cost that is favorable to them. Kwa akianza kukuuliza, okay, catering, why are you charging catering? Why are you charging me $10 per person for catering? Unaanza kuelezea, unaulizwa souzi wa caterer. Unatoa jina la mtu. Most of these companies also, kwa sababu ni procurement, na wao wana procure vitu from people. They know the standard ya sokoni hapa Tanzania kwamba there is no way catering for mtu meal ambayo ni sijui wali sijui na nini is that amount. Yeah. Then kuna uhaba wa taaluma. If you're saying when ni mtu wa costume, do you actually know what it means to do that? When you're saying when is set, mtu wa set, you're a grip, you're a gaffer, you're this, you're that, lazima uelewe what you're doing. Because kama nakuja set, mimi ni mteja that I have worked with foreign companies. Nikija kufanya kazi na local production, there's a standard that I expect. Nimekuja kwenye set, naletewa chakula in a certain way, there is no sehemu ya mteja kukaa, call sheet haieleweki, reki mmefanya mkiniletea pre-production, your pre-production file nikiangalia naona mbona vitu havieleweki, mmeniletea models, I'm like mbona watu nimeshaona kwenye vitu kibao. So there are very many small things, na haimaanishi kila mtu anafanya. Kuna wengine ambao wana utaalamu, wana ueledi wao, but majority of us tunahitaji kujifunza biashara ya production, jinsi ya kuuza budget zetu, na the professional etiquettes that you need to have as a production house when you're producing. When you say you're delivering X time, stick to the time. If the client is asking you for cut downs tatu plus digital, if you're saying yes wakati wa procurement, don't come later and say oh budget hairuhusu, unajua sijui nini. So there are things we can learn from foreign production houses, then tujizatiti kidogo kuwa a bit professional in what we do. We have people, we have equipment, we have the knowledge ya the industry yetu na nuances za watu wetu when you're doing film, but kutokuelewa huu mchezo unachezwaje sometimes inatukosta. Na wateja are not here to be, kwa bahati mbaya, wateja are not here to be friends with anyone. Procurement wana kazi yao, marketing wana kazi yao. Marketing will do and approve a script and say okay, this is the one we want. They send it to procurement. They have no influence. Mara nyingi they have no influence. They can say I prefer so and so. So and so akija kwenye the procurement process aanguke, yani kuna vitu basic unaulizwa. You are saying unatumia kamera hii, unaulizwa kwa nini unatumia kamera hii? You cannot justify. Bana, there's a lot of animation that needs to be done. I need to shoot on this type of camera because it allows 1 2 3. Ukiwa tu unaongea camera, procurement like but si ni camera. Si kuna Sony ambao wanatumia kufanya documentaries sijui za nini. Why can't you our team, our PR team, si wana cameras. Why can't they give these guys the cameras to shoot? If you cannot kwa uwezo wako kuelezea why am I using camera hii, why am I using camera hii? Why do I need 4 days of editing? Why am I going to Dubai to do post production? Because unaenda Dubai kufanya post production unabeba watu 4. Kwa nini unabeba watu 4? Simfanyie tu hapa. You need to be able to justify. Na ikifika sehemu ya malipo, you need to understand malipo, you need to understand director wako huyo ambao ni wa nje unamlipaje. Wao wanatakiwa wasave. Ukisema unapeleka dollars nje, lazima uweze kujielezea. So kuna vitu vidogo tu ambavyo watu wetu wakivishika, everything will be Gucci. Lakini nje hapo, we will always feel that clients kwamba hawataki kutumia productions za nyumbani, which is not true. Pia sisi tuelewe kwenye kupata kazi, sometimes it's your portfolio. You as a local agency, what is your reel? If you're bringing a reel, what have you done? What is the quality of the work that you're showing as a reel? If I'm going to shoot something that has a lot of animation, umeniletea reel yako that has no animation work, nikianza kuangalia, I'm like, these guys do not have the capacity to do it. So tuelewe biashara. Hii ni biashara. Tusichukulie ni ushikaji, tusichukulie kwa sababu ni local tutabebwa. Yes, inatakiwa tubebwe, lakini ukibebwa, wanasema Waswahili, ukibebwa
Bebeke.
asante.
So just to add on, I think also there's need production houses to look at themselves. Where's your two supplier? Where's your two vendor? You're a partner.
Yeah.
It changes the way you're looking at the whole project, because you understand what I need, and then now you have your checklist, proper planning. I see a lot, yani naona gap kubwa katika mtu anajiconsider tu ni vendor. Yani hata from the way you're responding to a pitch, from the way hata unaingia meeting umevouch for this production house, lakini ile meeting unasikia aibu wewe. Maswali wanaulizwa unakuta kwamba production house nzima it's carried by one person. Unamuliza, okay, who's the producer, who's the director? Everybody's confused in the room. There are 7 people and one person is answering all questions. Tayari unaona kabisa there's a disconnect. Without this person there, I expect all of you to answer maswali yale yanayoulizwa. Lakini unakuta kazi anajua tu mtu mmoja, na akikosekana, can we reschedule?
Happens. Yeah.
I'm on. Kwa hiyo okay, kwa hiyo ina maana huja plan. I think also kuchukulia poa. I don't think production houses invest in their craft. And what do I mean by that? There are companies that have been in the game for years, older than you, but it's rinse, repeat. Mtu ambaye unategemea labda by now angekuwa way mbali because umemwona industry 10, 15 years ago. Lakini anavo show up kama amateur. So you're like, by now, surely, inabidi uwe at a certain professionalism.
It's interesting that you guys mentioned that because we in a different episode we had this conversation sasa with the people in the industry. Now we're talking the DOPs, the camera people, and everyone. The conversation was the same. Lakini the biggest challenge that we're seeing is that not everybody wants it the same way we want it. So unaweza kukuta I want to put in the effort because I want to make sure I have the international standard. Lakini anakuja hapa Makida or Raphael in the team, they're just thinking of their next paycheck. So they're not going to value the production the same way. So it becomes quite very challenging. So this is like from a production house perspective and the challenges that we face. Ruben, this question to you.
Yes.
Kuangalia Tanzania in general, like what do you think is lacking on how can individuals improve? Because for us as a production house to be able to qualify, we need each individual person to understand the vision and be fully dedicated as well. So how do you think we can sort of improve that?
This might get me into trouble. So najiwaza sana if I should say it. It's not an industry thing. It's a culture thing. Tumelelewa kubali usawa. Yani our community has made us want all to be equal. Just to get by. It's okay just to get by. Having a C, having an average grade, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because ukinyosha sana unaonekana either unajikweza au huyu vipi au kwamba these qualities are not Tanzanian.
Songo.
Ukiwa unatamani excellence to a certain level,
Yeah.
mara nyingi utaulizwa kwani wewe umesomea wapi? Wewe umekulia wapi? It almost like Watanzania tulio wengi kwamba anyone demanding or wanting excellence iliyopitiliza sio Mtanzania. So tunahitaji mindset shift kwa Watanzania walio wengi. I remember when I started production 2002, I was an intern on a production set here, Better Days. Better Days was a series done by KTN. The guy who was doing sound then, alikuwa anaitwa Steve. Up to now he's doing sound, but he's not doing sound in Kenya. He's in Hollywood. Kuna watu that have been doing location here in Tanzania on matangazo yetu haya for 8-9 years. And they still do the reki wao wenyewe. Hawana team, hawana watu wapya. Nilibahatika kwenda to shoot in South Africa where you get a company that's doing costume. They have a warehouse.
Yeah.
So you go and kuna a plethora of nguo zimejaa. I've done, you remember when we shot? We needed rain. We could only run rain once.
Yeah, because that's all we can afford.
We were the only, na tulikuwa ni seen that we need the rain to fall, but we were like,
Yeah.
we got the car, we could only afford to get it to do one shot. If you hit it, sawa. If you miss, and
That's
then even
it.
the costume, if we had done it 3 times, we didn't have.
Yeah.
Then mziki umefanywa uwe glamorous because the people in music are showing that it's a glamorous life. Kuna wakati mimi nilikosea by showing the glamorous life of being a creative director. So when I'm going to South Africa, I'm posting. When I'm doing this, I'm posting. My thinking was then, kama wenzetu wa mziki are showing this life, I need to show young creatives that this is a place to be, kwamba kuna maisha. Now, it backfired on me because ilichukuliwa tofauti. Jamaa anaringa, anajaribu kujikweza, kujionesha. No, in my thinking was, if I'm a creative director, let people see that inalipa kuwa creative director. Inawezekana, my framing at that time, due to youth, due to na mimi ndio nimefika tu saizi unaanza kushikashika hela, might have been wrong, but I think there's a mind shift that needs to happen across the board to the people who wapo in the industry. Let's want greater than. Let's want to be the best at. Let's not just settle for, okay, now a local production, waji attach. When their production is being done, attach, usione aibu. Jipeleke wewe kama cameraman. Just say, ndugu yangu, are you shooting for sijui nani Pan Africa? Can I come on set and just see what's being done? Shadow people so that you learn. But kiukweli, if we get that mind shift of wanting to be the best at what we do and not scared of being the best and just getting by. Hii getting by, ujamaa wetu wa all of us are equal. It's a good thing for national building. It's a good thing. Imetushikilia hadi hapa tulipofika. But kwenye hizi kazi za ushindani, we need more of, I am the best and I want to be the best at, at this thing that I'm doing. Yeah.
And you know, Winnie, growth is a very important thing when it comes to what we do. It's even if you are good, you can be great. You need to strive to get better at what you do all the time. Let's not be content at where we are. But another thing that I see around that I think people can take very serious is ownership. You know, I feel like we are always looking for somebody else to come and take their responsibility when the work is ours.
Yeah.
It's your job. You should own it. Like, you're so passionate about this, you want the best out of it. You know, the quality that comes out of the work is yours. You know, you actually want the output to be there so that you can put it somewhere to show people that you did it. But if you are not owning the work, you will not be proud of the output.
Makida, from your side, at some point Ruben mentioned procurement and how they have that power of picking a production house where you can recommend, but then the power is with procurement because they care about costs. Do you think that also affects the productions because sometimes they care more about the cost and not the final delivery? Because there's certain companies, this question, Ruben, you can answer as well, where now creativity doesn't matter. It's all about just costs.
Of course, but to a certain extent, you see, waliopo serious na kazi zao na kuweza kujustify that cost wako wachache. So hata procurement huwezi kwenda na cost moja. Send several. Hakuna standard. Ndio kama walikuwa nasema same equipment watu hawezi kujustify. Ukipigiwa simu na procurement, if you know your job, unajua what it takes. Lazima kuna yani hii ndo benchmark kwa sababu to deliver there's a certain quality you can't compromise, correct? Lakini mtu unapigiwa yani simu moja unaomba justify, kwa hiyo inaweza kutosha hapa 3/4 of ndio we can do it. Sasa unashangaa hata wewe ambaye umesema no kwa hii project, because hata wakati mnafanya script unaona the magnitude of the project with experience of doing these things over time, unajua hii ni project ndogo, hii ni mid, hii ni kubwa. Kwa hii tuta compromise quality. Kuna nani nyingine unakuta pia situation ambayo hata wewe ambao ni recommend local production houses, it's moja yuko hapa mwingine yuko chini. So it's hard to justify the variance katika local production houses. Same script, huge discrepancies.
But we also ought to be innovative as an industry. A lot is changing.
Yeah.
Innovation should help us be able to find some of the solutions to cost problems. Whether you like it or not, business people are going to manage their triple bottom line.
Yeah.
Now AI is stealing the business. Innovation. The industry is changing. Whether we like it or not, it's going to change. If we don't innovate and get along with it, it's going to leave us behind. Now, they are canceling production out of a lot of projects. You know, not every project comes with production anymore. It's not like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, every single project comes with with production. Now there's digital.
Yeah.
You know, it's creating snackable content. So you're not going to have film production for every single campaign, but you're going to have other forms of production. Yeah. So innovation and diversification has to come in for us to be able to get there. Otherwise, we'll continue talking about cost, and then we'll be losing out on business.
I think that goes back to the business of production. Kwa sababu, like in SA, there's standardization in terms of crewing, how we pay them. So there's no way I'm going to take 20 shillings because that cannot even pay the entire crew. So there will be similarity in the costing of crewing when it comes to wardrobe, directors. If you want, there's grades, there's A-list, B-list, C-list. So niwewe according to your budget and what you want.
So why can't you get that here?
We had this conversation. So the biggest issue
you
is...
guys, as agents,
as production.
Yeah.
So we had this conversation and it was more of, again, people not understanding the business. So then we said, how can institutions like Film Board and Basata come in? So they say that they are working on solutions and they want to work with different production houses and partners to bring that, to steer that conversation, because we need to have that in the industry. There needs to be pricing, a standardization
And it's
throughout.
been a conversation for the last so many years. So is it
Yeah, and
moving somewhere? Do you feel it's moving somewhere?
I
Is the end
don't.
in sight, or it's just a runaround conversation? I had it when I got into agency.
Yeah.
I left. It's been 6 years since I left agency. Still the same. We will work on it. We are getting there. We'll standardize. When
Now,
do
now it
you
comes to collaboration, because I think it's like agency is thinking from an agency perspective, production is thinking from production perspective. So you actors are thinking from actors, but we're all creatives as a whole. So how can they link all these organizations together and make sure that we can get standardization throughout? So
maybe ask Rafael?
from
Yeah,
agency, yeah,
from Ghana, like
how is it
the
done?
industry, how was it able to set standards for production houses, or do they have standards in Ghana for production houses, for the agencies, for all this work that we seem to find trouble in Tanzania?
I think it's a I won't say it's a problem that is peculiar to Tanzania. Many African countries do not understand the creative sector. You know, my own Ghana, we have associations, industry groups that are organizing themselves, all right? But it was just until recently that the Form Act, was enacted. Especially for Africa, if you look at the youth who invest themselves in the creative sector, it calls for a little more attention than it's getting now, from governments. I think from my view, that is where the conversation needs to start from.
I completely agree, but there's also a lot of gatekeeping where there's people that have been in the industry for the longest and longest time. Some individuals maybe are benefiting from being the top, or from there's like some sort of monopolization in the industry, so they would rather just keep it like that and not share knowledge throughout. Because I remember even when I was starting out, it was very hard for me to even get into these big sets. That's why in my sets I allow people to come in as much as you can, because it was so hard. I hope that there'll be more people who are open to bringing other people in, because there's no way you can grow as one or two people. And there's so many more talents that are coming in right now that hawajapata tu hizo opportunities, but I know when they do, they'll actually do better and better. So I would like to move to how content is changing. I would start with Makida. For you, is turnaround speed and getting things out done more important than quality? And as a client, what do you need more at the moment?
The need to understand human behavior and cultural relevance is very important. Not just push it out, but does it resonate? Don't just chunk out. The risk that comes with push, 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 the content just comes out. It's you feel like this doesn't connect. More importantly, you need a partner or production house that has that top of mind, because content is moving, and I think this is why it's moving. Not just relying on big TVCs on once a year or once every 2 years, but always on content. So production more of supporting brand presence rather than relying on key milestones. Unakuta kwamba production inafanya, lakini do you understand the platforms? Would this work in the certain platform? Would the audience resonate? Because at the end of the day, sitting on client side, you've also got to justify the spend in terms of performance. Has this really worked? Has it given you results? And this might be, are people resonating to it? So quality, but something that works for the local market. And we see Tanzania in the middle of it. That's what I would say.
Raphael, where do you see like the future of production? Are we going to survive with all this AI?
AI has come to stay. I mean, it's a cliche now. Everybody says it. You know. Generally, you also realize that it's not only agencies, it's not only the clients that will have to do R&D, research and development. Production houses too need to do research and development. It's not only agencies, it's not only clients that will have to do strategy and planning. What is happening with the changes in the world are all coming from research.
Yeah.
How much research is the production sector doing? It takes research. We don't just stick to what we know. We need to get to know more, both in the film space, both in the audience space, because other international film industries are doing that. They research all the time. They know what their audiences are looking for. They actually do strategy, bearing in mind how the film is going to perform when it's released, because a lot of investments have gone into it. I think, in my opinion, we would have to do better in these spaces to catch up with what is happening. Because now, what we know today, next year will be completely different. Are we ready?
I think it goes back to Ruben's point of business of creativity. I think at the end of the day, this is a business. And I think a lot of creatives, we move with our hearts and not minds.
That's why
It's
you
like,
partner.
yeah,
You partner and have the person who does the creative part, you need a person who does the business part. So we were talking about AI. You're like, in 5 years, if I keep doing what I'm doing now, will I still be in business in 5 years? If the answer is no, then you know you need to evolve.
evolve, yeah.
Storytelling is not dying.
Yeah.
Storytelling is still there. Clients are moving from one medium to the next, but the techniques of storytelling are still there. Now, as production houses, it can't be your revenue stream is just shooting film.
Film, yeah.
You'll die. Because there are not that many clients who are shooting, even up as a CV in our country. Now, people say we are moving digital. Digital is buzzword that is being used right now. Watu tunaenda digital, tunaenda digital. What does that mean for the business? Is it looking for influencers and doing ads that you're like, my God, who approved this? If I'm, as the agency, was doing this type of scripts, this type of work, it would not go anywhere. You're looking at the quality, you're like, then you remember it's on a phone. The person who's viewing that is from viewing 5 other accounts that are not done by professional people. So when they're skimming through, they're not looking, oh, is the lighting right? They just look, is the story being told
yeah.
impactful to me? Now, as production houses, we need to get to a point where you cannot be just waiting to shoot ads. You need to diversify and, okay, what else do I need to do in the space of storytelling for me to still make ends meet? If we still stick to waiting for pitches and for client X to give you a budget, in the next 5 years, that production house will close down. Now, for us, with this AI coming in, copywriters also need to understand. I don't need to have 5 copywriters. I can do thinking, writing the whole strategy note. I can write scripts. I can get the PPT done. I can do sample audio. I can do sample videos. I can get the graphics or a poster done by myself within an hour of a whole campaign. So I might not need 5 people. But if I have 5 people who know how to prompt, then we can do 10 campaigns within an hour.
Yeah. So
Now
you
it's
can
for
do
people
more.
to evolve and go like, okay, so AI is here. How do I use it? Clients are using AI. I've been given briefs by my clients. I read through. I know, yes, I know you prompted to get this brief. I'm like, okay, cool. Because
They
there's a
forget
point
to edit.
people walikuwa on, people are very up in arms against AI. So I asked people, do you use a calculator? Yeah, there were people who are calculating things by writing down, but you're using a calculator, you don't mind it.
Yeah.
Do you use a phone that you say, Siri, call so and so? People are doing this. Krrr, krrr, krrr. So technology will move us to a space. We need to be able to understand We are storytellers.
Let me share one thing that creatives can pick from AI especially. We have an advantage. That advantage is the language, the technicalities. You see, when you are prompting AI with the right language, with the technical language, the output is different from using English. It is left for the creative players to be able, creative professionals, to learn how to use AI well using their advantage over language. So if you use AI well, you produce content that any outsider
Cannot.
cannot produce.
Kuna kamchezo hapa. It's called red flag, green flag. We all know what the red flags are, especially in relationships. Red flags and green flags. So we have the first one. Having one clear decision maker responsible for final approvals. Is that a red flag or a green flag?
That's a difficult question. From my end, considering I've done creative and in media, if it's a big brand, it's easier when there's one person because big brands have gates of approval. So by the time it gets to that one person, it has passed through the set established standards of the business. Smaller brands, when you're working with and they have one person, it helps if they know about either.
What they're doing.
Yeah. If they don't, it's a headache. So in the times that I've worked, it has helped me when there's only one person who decides. Whether they're right or wrong, you do not run around trying to please everyone. I just know it's Makida. I get Makida's perspective. I try to change her perspective. She says no, and I know she's the final decision maker. I keep quiet and move on. So for me, it's green is a good thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
green flag.
Green. Green flag.
Okay, this next one is changing the creative direction after seeing the first edit.
Red.
Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag.
Why do clients do this, Makida? Jamani.
I like the where you sign off and actual
Yes,
sign
sign
the
off.
script.
Jamani, ile stamp kabisa.
Stamp
no?
and sign and send to
Andika
us.
sign, nini.
Not an email. We will send you the physical script, sign every page, stamp, and send it to us. When later on, I learned you never say no to the client. When they say they want to change,
Change,
you agree, go back to the office, write an email of the cost.
Meanwhile, procurement wakati una pitch, umesema 10 reverts.
No.
Cost included
This is
until
not a
you
revert.
realize.
This
not
is a change
revert.
of the
This is a
script.
complete
Wakati upo na
change.
procurement, unaambia everything included until you guys are.
Huyo sasa ni production house ambayo wanachelewa wakikubali hayo yote.
Final one. Expecting content to go viral without clear distribution or media plan.
That's the whole container
Red
of red material.
Red flag. So I always ask, what do you mean?
Yes, what does viral
When you
mean?
say you want it to go viral, what do you mean? Do you want your
Trending.
trending?
And then the most trending, like, I wanna
So
know
let's
what-
pull
Come on.
the last 10 things that trended and get a pattern of what things trend. Now let's look at the content that we've created. Does it fall within the pattern of things that trend? No. Okay, so how do you expect it to trend?
Trend, yeah.
When a client tells me go viral, I think as a creative, that is the hardest brief.
Yes.
When you tell me go viral, I would rather you tell me the business problem that you have. I find a
Find a
solution.
solution.
Going viral is tricky. Oh, my sister, to you, what is being viral as a client?
Mi kwanza ukisema hivyo, I know you're not clear on what you want.
You want to go
Yeah.
viral?
Because I've also been at agency and at client.
Yeah.
Now you become, hata unavyopata in-house to discuss, I want it to go, you're like, what does that mean?
What does
And most
that
times
even
when you strip
mean?
it away, you realize kitu anacho ni tofauti na the business problem
Yeah.
that you're trying to solve. So it's a red flag straight up.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for this. As we wrap up, just one word from each of you. So, one word to someone that's trying to start a production house, a creative that's trying to work with brands. What can they do or what can they improve?
Kwanzaa, I would like to take a moment and say happy 5 years to We Media. We've seen the growth. Tulikuwepo kuanzia bado, it's just an idea. Na congratulations kwa one trying kukuza the industry in as much as it's a very competitive industry. Congratulations two kwa kutoa nafasi kwa a lot of new people. Your sets has a lot of new people that are coming to the industry. Tatu, congratulations kwa kuelewa kwamba inahitaji kuwa biashara na inahitaji cooperate kama biashara halali, sio ya makona kona, biashara ambayo inajielewa, biashara ambayo imesajiliwa, biashara ambayo inafanya kila siku kujiboresha na kuelewa, kuweka standards. Cha nne, hongera on initiatives ambazo nazifanya nje ya just being a production house. Initiatives za pass on knowledge kwa vijana, initiatives za kuchukua interns kwenye your company, initiatives za encourage wanawake zaidi waingie in the production space, initiatives za kujitolea kijamii. You've asked me a couple of times, kuna wakati nashindwa kuja and I feel really bad not being able to come, but hongereni sana as we media. Now to the industry, tujitahidi kutafuta maarifa kwa njia yoyote ile. Tusibweteke, tusiridhike kwa kuwa kawaida. Tujaribu kuwa zaidi ya kawaida. Na inawezekana, tuna kila kitu kinachohitajika nchini, tuna watu wenye maarifa, tuwatafute, tuwe na people that we look up to. Tukipata nafasi ya kuongea nao kwenye mitandao ya kijamii, go direct to what you need. Don't waste a lot of time asking a lot of things. Just say, naitwa fulani, natamani msaada kwenye 1, 2, 3.
My 2 cents would be for people, creatives aspiring kuja kwenye hii industry, they should take their craft seriously. Invest in your craft, be serious on it, you'll be noticed. Somebody will notice, the right doors will open, people will hold your hand. Na peer growth, don't conform. Kila siku push yourself to be better, you've been good at it. Innovation, kila mwaka utakuta wina amefikiria kitu kipya, sasa hivi ka add kitu kipya. It's because you're benchmarking your business on a larger scale. Sio tu Tanzania, lakini Africa, hata kubwa zaidi ya Africa. They should dream bigger and not conform. So that will be my advice.
Dream big, guys. Raphael.
How do I say happy anniversary in Swahili?
Hey, that
Copywriter,
one.
copywriter huyo hapa.
Copywriter,
Heri.
good side here.
Heri ya ukumbusho wa siku yenu ya
You know what I mean?
uzinduzi. Uungwaji.
Heri ya miaka mitano ya.
Tutaenda na uzinduzi.
Is it sehemu ni mwema?
Hey, Raf. Sehemu en wema.
I'm trying.
Sehemu is
What?
place.
Oh, sehemu is no. Sherehe.
Sherehe. Sherehe njema.
Sherehe njema. No.
I tried now.
You've tried.
I tried.
One,
You
you've
really
tried.
tried.
You've tried.
Congratulations. It's an inspiring story, but it's only the beginning. So congratulations on your 5th year. We hope you make it 10 and 20.
20, 40.
Yeah. Your team is also one of the teams, succeeding in the industry. So it's worth saying that the things that you got correct or you got right are worth learning from, worth emulating, by those that are coming up. So I'll urge the younger ones coming up, it's possible if you are serious about it, because other people are doing it, and we can also do it here.
Thank you guys for staying with us. The biggest takeout for me is being professional, having the mindset to grow and do better, and being able to adapt and grow from it. I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode of N5. See you guys. Bye.